Imagine trying to survive in a desert where every single drop of water meant life itself. Every morning, for thousands of years, the people of ancient Egypt faced this stark reality. Their lives, their very existence, depended on one unpredictable, powerful source, the Nile River. But how did they actually get that water from the river to their homes, their fields, their mouths? It wasn't just about being near the Nile. It was about harnessing its unpredictable rhythms, managing its silty bounty, and performing an often grueling daily ritual. This wasn't a world of turning on a tap. It was a world of sweat, ingenuity, and constant vigilance. We'll explore the tools they used, the challenges they faced, and the quiet heroes of this daily struggle. The Nile wasn't just a river, it was a god, Happy, the bringer of life. Its annual inundation, the flooding that began around July and receded by October, deposited rich, black silt, making the land fertile. But while the flood brought food, it also presented a monumental challenge. How do you get clean, drinkable water from a vast, often muddy, and constantly shifting waterway? For most common Egyptians, the answer was deceptively simple, yet backbreaking: direct collection. Imagine the earliest dawn. Yeah, still cool before the sun beats down. A medium shot, a subtle tracking movement, follows a woman in loose, earth-toned robes walking toward the riverbank. Her destination, the nearest, most accessible point along the Nile. No designated water stations like we might imagine. Often, it was just a gentle slope, perhaps a small, worn path leading directly to the water's edge. This journey wasn't a quick errand. It was a core part of the day's routine for millions. The primary vessel for this vital task was the humble clay jar, often called a quilla. These weren't just simple pots. They were meticulously crafted, porous vessels designed to keep water cool through evaporative cooling. A slow zoom on a beautifully textured quilla, its surface slightly damp from its contents. The weight of a full quilla could be substantial, perhaps 15 to 20 liters, weighing upwards of 20 kilograms or 44 pounds. That's a serious load to carry, especially when you consider it was often balanced on the head or sometimes across shoulders with a yoke for a significant distance back home. This wasn't a job for just one person in a household. Women, children, and sometimes servants shared this strenuous duty. Imagine a dusty marketplace where glimpses of these daily treks are common, a constant backdrop to the bartering and chatter. It was a communal effort, born of necessity. For communities slightly further from the river, or for drawing water for irrigation, a different ingenuity came into play. The shaduf. This simple yet incredibly effective lever system allowed one person to lift water from a lower level, like a canal or the river itself, to a higher one, such as an irrigation ditch. A shaduf consisted of a long pole pivoted on a crossbeam with a bucket on one end and a counterweight on the other. A worker would pull the rope to dip the bucket into the water, then let the counterweight do most of the heavy lifting. It was repetitive, rhythmic work, often done for hours under the scorching sun. But what about when the Nile receded, leaving communities somewhat stranded, or for those living further from the main channels? Wells became crucial. These could range from simple hand-dug pits to elaborate, stone-lined shafts, sometimes quite deep, tapping into the groundwater table. The quality of well water varied greatly. Some might be relatively clean, while others could be brackish or contaminated. Imagine the relief of finding a sweet, clear well after days of struggling with silty river water, but also the disappointment of a well that ran dry or offered only bitter liquid. Then there were the Nilometers. These ingenious structures, often staircases or columns marked with flood levels, were vital for predicting the year's harvest and thus the prosperity of the entire kingdom. They weren't just for kings. They told every farmer, every family, what their future might hold. Managing water wasn't just about getting it. It was about storing it. Large ceramic storage jars, sometimes half buried in the earth to keep them cool, were common in homes. Public cisterns, often fed by canals or filled during the inundation, provided communal reserves for larger settlements. But even stored water wasn't perfectly clean. The Nile, while life-giving, was also a source of disease. Parasites, bacteria, and silt were constant threats. Imagine the subtle worry that must have accompanied every sip, especially for children. It was a silent, Daily risk. To improve water quality, Egyptians often let water stand in large jars, allowing heavier silt particles to settle at the bottom. Sometimes, they'd use a natural coagulant, like alum, to speed up the process, making the water clearer, though not necessarily germ-free. It was a rudimentary, but often effective, form of purification. Perhaps this is why beer played such a significant role in the Egyptian diet. Fermented beverages, even low-alcohol ones, were often safer to drink than untreated water. It wasn't just for celebration. It was a daily staple, a form of hydration that offered a degree of protection against waterborne illnesses. Beyond drinking, water was essential for sanitation. Bathing, washing clothes, and cleaning homes all required water. These tasks were typically done separately from drinking water collection, often further downstream or in designated areas to prevent contamination. And, of course, the vast majority of Nile water was for agriculture. The intricate network of canals and irrigation ditches, managed by entire communities, was a monumental feat of engineering. This collective effort was the backbone of their civilization, ensuring food security for millions. There were also dedicated water carriers, often referred to as water boys or porters, who made a living by delivering water directly to homes or workshops, especially in larger towns like Memphis or Thebes. They were the delivery service of their time, saving others the arduous journey. Imagine a sound, a constant, low thrum, just at the edge of hearing, but only you can hear it. It's the distant murmur of the Nile, a sound that permeated every aspect of Egyptian life, a reminder of both its blessings and the unrelenting effort required to live by its grace. For the ancient Egyptians, water wasn't just a resource, it was a sacred entity, a daily challenge, and the ultimate foundation of their world. Their unwavering connection to the Nile shaped their routines, their innovations, and their very understanding of life and death. It's a powerful reminder that even in the most advanced civilizations, the most fundamental needs often demand the most profound and persistent human effort. Their methods, though simple by modern standards, were a testament to their resilience and deep understanding of their environment. So the next time you turn on your tap, pause for a moment and consider the extraordinary daily struggle that was once the norm for an entire civilization, all dependent on one magnificent, life-giving river. What other unseen daily routines of ancient civilizations intrigue you the most?